Hi, everybody. Queen Crystal King in the building. Everyone within the sound of my voice, I would like for you to go to First Lady Kiki's page and look at the video she did for Black History Month. Don't be fooled. It has 2 crash dummies on the front. But check it out. This video has me speechless. I've seen these things before. I've heard these things before. But looking at all this foolishness that's been going on lately about slaves, this will shut your damn mouth. This will remind you that slavery is not a joke. This will remind you that these people were abducted, beaten into submission, shackled and chained, whipped, starved. None of this is what they thought was going to happen to them when they woke up that day. They were just living life in their beautiful homeland with their families, growing their own food, raising their children. To wake up to this. Packed in a boat like sardines. Raped, sodomized, tortured. A lot of them didn't survive, so they were thrown off the edge of the boat. A lot of times you would have to go for God knows how long with a dead person chained next to you. To be bought and sold and bred like cattle, branded like cattle, and treated worse than I've ever heard of a human being being treated. They were less than human to these people. Less than human. Do you know what they called a black baby? A child? They called them suckers. That's what they called them. There was absolutely no way that those slave masters left their white wives because these women had the best sushi. Rape is a crime of power, control, violence. I can't even imagine what these people went through. Our people went through. This man could walk right in here and snatch a wife away from her husband, and the whole family could see him have his way with her. Yes. And Miss First Lady Kiki, she talked about how a man went to steal food for his pregnant wife, was caught, beaten, and mutilated. See, what they did was they cut off limbs. They cut off genitals to put fear in other slaves. So when they were saying, yes, massa, no, massa, they were trying to survive. They were never seen as an object of affection. I find myself getting angry all over again. But I also find myself saying, for all of you who couldn't look a white man in the eye, I will. For all of those babies, young men and young women that got sprayed with the water hoses and the dogs turned on them just for sitting at a lunch counter. I will. For it is because of the ones before me that I do what I do today. Now, I'm not going to say that there aren't people who still feel that way. I'm not going to say that there's no more discrimination. But I am going to say that because of a lot of people who paid with their lives in order for us to be where we are today, we owe them homage. So stop with the bullshit. Just stop it. There are women and there are men who have been killed for loving someone that is not of their race. That's not illegal anymore. Because of those who fought and died before us. So now when I hear this bullshit, I'll know that I have said what I needed to say and do what I needed to do to let my voice be heard on my platform the way I want to. It's stupid, it's asinine, and let's get back to what this is really about. Let's get back to what this is really about. Story time. My grandson wanted to know what a slave was. What do they mean by that? So you know what I did? I made it as simple as he could understand it. I went to where he was because he was learning about MLK and slavery and how it got from that point to this point. So I started off what he could relate to. You're standing up here with your mom and dad. Someone busts in your door. They take you. They abduct you, which means they're taking you somewhere without your will. They're not asking your mom and dad, do you mind if he goes with us? No, they are taking you. Your mom and dad are trying to get to you. They're calling your name. They're screaming. They're begging. They're pleading. Please give us our son back. Please. Whatever it is you want me to do, please give us our son back. And you're thinking, that's my mom and dad. They can stop this. But as a slave, they might have wanted to stop it. And they may have died trying, but they couldn't stop it. They took you and they sold you to a whole nother family. Do you understand what's going on? No. But you're beaten into submission until you are docile, meaning that you bow your head. You say, yes, master, no, master. And you do whatever you have to do to survive. Eventually, you forget all about your mother and father. And if you're blessed, you live years and years and years. If you're not, and you're not doing what's expected of you, is to eat, live, and breathe like an animal, they kill you. I'm sorry I had to say that to you. But those are the rights that slaves had. We have more rights than slaves had. But we're still fighting. Why MLK couldn't play with the little boy that he met? Why couldn't he play with him? Says to me, because he was white and they weren't allowed to play with little white boys because they were black. That hurt me that my son, my grandson, had to know that. But if it had to come from anybody, it needed to come from me. So if he hears it twice, he'll know to be still and to listen. And it's not funny and not to make jokes. Because people really died. People put their life on the line. Protested, marched for us to do or have some of the liberties that we have today. I feel myself getting tight. And I kind of stammered a little bit in this video, but I'm going to leave it just the way it is. First Lady Kiki, thank you. And remember, it's less than 5 minutes, but that video is going to last you a lifetime. Thanks for listening. Love, peace, and chicken grease.